Today we're taking a look at a flagship model from Ernest Borel, which is yet another historic brand that has been bought out and revived after suffering the end in the quartz crisis of the 70s. It can be considered as an entry-level Swiss-made watch. Unlike many other brands like that try to mask the fact they are only a bought name, Ernest Borel states its Chinese ownership right on their webpage. Another fact I like is their transparency with movements used. Again, unlike many entry-level Swiss brands that try to hide their third-party source movements by giving them their own internal names and references, Ernest Borel writes the real movement name on their webpage. This transparency is something a watch person like me respects, and by not trying to hide behind smoke and mirrors, it makes me appreciate the watches they offer for what they are. This Grandeur Dual Time watch, as I said, is their flagship model, and it is priced in the higher end of their offering, which is around $2,500. For that money, you get a rose gold plated 42mm case that I would usually consider too large for my small 6.5-inch wrist and this dressy style, but because it has a dual time dial at 6 o'clock, the size is actually okay, as it makes reading of the smaller dial easier. Also, the lug-to-lug is pretty short for the size, so it can be worn by smaller-wristed people like me problem-free. The Swiss-made movement Soprod TT661, beside the dual-time complication, also offers a big date at 12 o'clock, and that part is partially skeletonized, revealing the two discs, some gears, and part of the bridges that are finished with Geneva stripes. The whole dial has many levels and gives off a luxurious look found on higher-end watches. With so many AliExpress offerings giving a similar design, these types of dials have a risk of looking cheap, but this one manages to look expensive, and the level of finish is really good, even under macro. The main hands are gold-plated while the second set is blued, and I keep them synced as I find the blue ones much easier to read as they stand out. Old world design is continued with the railroad track around the dial and Roman numerals at the top part of the dial. Overall, I like the look and the little details like the stylized EB as the seconds counterweight that is then repeated as the butterfly clasp on a thick but supple 22mm alligator grain leather strap. The strap is pretty comfortable, and the butterfly clasp actually fits me, something that rarely happens due to its position on my small wrist. I had to remove my JLC one from my reverso for that reason, but this one is shaped differently and makes no such problems. The case is beautifully finished with polished bezel, sides, and bevels, and only a small portion of brushed finish on top of the lugs. Next to the short lug-to-lug, what also makes it wear comfortably is the lack of thickness. Despite having a domed sapphire and the already mentioned complications, the whole watch, with the crystal included, is just 10.9mm thick, which combined with the 42mm diameter makes it look even thinner, which to me is a must on a dressy watch. Overall, I like it, as it has that old world charm to it, and beside looking like a complicated high-end watch, it actually offers a decent complication for the money. I mean, considering it is Swiss-made, while at the same time has a nice level of finish. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.